people, deluded, I'm back again. Now, obviously we lost 3-0 to Manchester City. There's no shame in losing to Manchester City or losing 3-0 against Manchester City. Obviously it shows, first and foremost, how great City are. I wouldn't even say they're anything near their best, and I heard Pep Guardiola post-game say they were better in their game against United, where they didn't have much success versus against us, and I 100% agree. Listen, there's been games where, like Newcastle last week, City had to work harder to get a draw in that game, or the rare times they've dropped points this season, it was easy against Arsenal. As great as City's attacking players are, and as low on confidence, just how poorly we are in terms of tactically, I think the game was won before we even kicked a ball. And I think as good as City are, and they're always going to win 3-0 minimum, we defeated ourselves, people. We had a defeative attitude in that game for me. Obviously, fine margins. I told you lot in the preview, and you lot are not stupid, you know yourself. Worst side off the ball in terms of tactics versus the best side off the ball. You saw it. As great as City are technically, and you saw for Kevin De Bruyne in particular, 2 great goals. But what made them goals? First and foremost, we gave the ball away and City didn't give it us back. I'm not saying it was Leno's fault, for example, but let's look at the third goal. The third goal is literally a long ball. I think it went out to the flanks. I mean, up to Aubameyang. Aubameyang misses out. I'm not blaming Leno. What I'm saying is, as a team, we need to fix up how one goal kick leads to a goal on our side. Because, like I said, Leno kicked it, Aubameyang missed the header, City regained possession, people. And then, like you saw, we switched off. They regained possession, and it was year 7s versus year 11s, essentially. They regained possession, people. And the game's opening up for itself. There's a point where I think Foden collects it here, and there's about four Arsenal players just doing stupidness here. You lose Kevin De Bruyne, it's too late. You see him go through on goal, obviously not to scale, and he slots it home. You cannot do that in games like this. I feel sorry for Leno, because Leno was quality yesterday, but what I'm talking about is one goal kick shouldn't lead to a direct chance at your goal, people. It doesn't make any sense. The second goal was more or less similar circumstances as well for that. We lose the ball up here or something like that. They counter attack. Kevin De Bruyne gets in behind, and this is what I'm talking about. Arsenal are at 6s and 7s. City players are smart. Sterling just continues his run, as you saw. He's unmarked now. Kolasinac is looking at him, and they're not looking at him. And he's in 2 minds. Potentially Martinelli or someone else in shot could have done more, because if you look at some of our goals, we're not sniffing danger. But it's too late. Kolasinac is ducking out of headers and just half-hearted. Sterling scores. We shot ourselves in the foot. The first goal was probably the most annoying, because to concede a goal like that, regardless of the opposition, within a minute of the game being played, is ridiculous, people, for me. Let's just say Kevin is there. Obviously, you see City. What killed us is the ball, actually, people. Ball comes from midfield into the City lad, Gab Jesus. Now, he started a lovely run, and Socrates has done very poor. He cuts across Chambers. Chambers is probably already tied, because before this, you saw Chambers gallivanting up there. The ball comes in behind. It splits Chambers, completely taking him out of the game. Gab Jesus gets in. Obviously, we're at 6s and 7s again. But what do I tell you, lot? Off the ball, people, you need to follow markers. What Gab Jesus did was quality play. This is where you have to be switched on in terms of marking. What Gab Jesus did was quality, because you're told to put the ball into certain areas in the team. Kevin De Bruyne is and it's a similar goal like Sterling's. His goal, we're not picking up men until it's too late, and he scores. Obviously, I'm not name dropping Martinelli, but Martinelli was doing his thing yesterday. I think in shot, Martinelli in build up time could have sniffed this danger quicker. And there's actually Torreira or someone on our area. What I mean by players need to really think, oh crap, he could have an effort, let's get going and score. As good as City are, and as good as their goals were from a neutral's point of view, every goal they scored in that game, literally from the first to the third, was our fault. We gifted possession to them. What we need to... I'm not blaming Leno for that goal, because it's a goal kick. We were killed by the 2 centre-halves. They don't want to play ball, for example. They can't really play with a ball at their feet. One point is we shouldn't keep getting, like, just one bit of transitional play shouldn't lead to us getting ruined like that. You get it? One free kick or one missed header shouldn't lead to this. And I told you, lot, it's off the ball. Now, I could wax on lyrical about City. City, it was pinball. I really liked the way how everybody all over the field, they had 3 options minimum. 2 to 3 options on the field. Their movement. How many times did you see City players going unmarked, or if this guy's marked, there's a free space. Off the ball, it's chest, people. Football is a game of chest, especially in a game like City, where 9 times out of 10 we're reacting to what City are doing because of the golfing class. As good as City are, we played into their own hands. At one point we had more possession than them. The only benefit from that game is actually that we didn't concede any more goals. The young players put some fight in, and obviously it's just the fact that City didn't smack us in, really, and they didn't score any more goals, because they probably allowed it. But we played into their own hands. As good as City are, like I said, every goal we conceded was self-inflicted. We're conceding the first goal in a minute and a half into the game, after Martinelli's had a shot. Martinelli's shot, which was on target, which was the only one in the game. So we defeated ourselves. We didn't play with that mental handbrake off, because we played like a team scared. We played like a team playing the champions. We thought, oh, we're on poor form. These lot are going to batter us. These lot are great. And that's not how football games are played. I would have liked to have seen the fact that we was going to lose 3-0 anyways. Players play with a bit of freedom, try things. How many times did Edison have to save anything? How many shots did Aubameyang have? How many shots did Pepe have? Martinelli. And I don't necessarily think the front three played well, obviously, well, Martinelli did, but I don't think they were poor from the fault of their own. We were just poor collectively as a side, because ultimately we were toothless. We make some elementary mistakes, whether we're in defence or not. Callum Chambers deserved to play that game on the basis of he's been better than certain other individuals, but he was equally terrible. But pardon me, he was still, listen, terrible games to good games. Chambers still has a positive ratio. I cannot say the same about David Luiz or Socrates. It's ridiculous, people. Shout out to Saka for doing the job at left wing back. Shout out to Martinelli for actually trying and getting it. I feel Emil did okay when he came on. He did kind of hide a bit and kind of let the game pass him, but I got a lot of time for him. That's where I'm at, man. Just give these young players time. Obviously, Joe came on, didn't really get any time to affect the game, but we shot ourselves in the foot, really. Like, you look at it, we had 6 shots, 1 on target. That one came in the first minute, literally. As much as we need a new manager with tactics to install confidence, these players have to pull it out themselves, because these players, for as poor as they are, low on confidence, tactics, lack of clarity over managerial positions and the board, the players have to take responsibility. And a lot of them, the shirt is too big for them. A lot of them cannot handle playing in the Premier League. A lot of them are just simply bottlers. And it pains me to say, I never like to get personal, but we're seeing the same thing time and time again. Certain players in this side are just pussycats, and no one wants to stand up to be counted. And what hurts me as well is win, lose or draw. Whether you play for Arsenal, United, Chelsea, Spurs now, Liverpool, these are teams where win, lose, draw, regardless of where your team is at, you need to fight for the shirt. Not even fight for the shirt. You attacking players demand the ball. Defensive mids even demand the ball. Centre halves demand something. Like, demand better of yourself. But I don't really see anybody trying to take the game to the opposition and saying, okay, this is my, especially the attacking players, this is my show. Give me the ball. I want everything through me. If you're not, I'm going to drop deep, and by force, I'm going to have something to say about this game. Players have to want to make the difference, and I think too many players in this team pass the buck, go through the motions. A lot of these players are not good enough. A lot of these players don't have the capabilities to do such, but I'm sure you all get the point. I don't need to bore you lot any longer, so I'm going to get out of here. But that's all there is to take tactically from that game against City. It was just a game of chess, a game of men against boys. That's all it is, really and truly. On that note, I'm going to get out of here. People, it's been a pleasure. DG.